Hi everyone, this is Trish Kendall, your host for the Choose and Become interview series. People around the world ask me to share more of my journey to enduring success. More stories, more of my lessons, more of my experiences. There's only so much I can share during an inspirational speech or while facilitating a workshop or even through blogs. So here you go. In these Trish Kendall Speaks episodes, I give you short, impromptu, candid, raw me. Come along with me as I continue my journey to enduring success.
Hi everyone, this is Trish Kendall with the Trish Kendall Speaks episode. For those of you who follow me, you know my sister Maria, but you don't actually know her yet. So I talk about my sister in the Lost Love episode. I talk about my sister like almost all the time. And she and I talk 5 times a day, except not anymore. Because now she takes care of her little grandbaby every day.
It makes it more difficult.
Yeah, but it's so amazing and sweet. I'm going to turn you up. You are meant to be a grandma, and you're meant to be a grandma to your daughter's little girl.
Being a grandma is the best thing.
But now it's such a joy. Now you got to be exhausted a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were joking around yesterday. So my husband is Michael, and Michael has my granddaughter's name is Otavia. Yeah. He has Otavia back, and I have Otavia's shoulder. And this is
yeah. I don't know what that means.
Otavia's shoulder and Otavia back. It's because we're not meant, this is why you're meant to have children when you're younger. So we're carrying around a 25-year-old baby. 25-pound baby.
Right.
And she's one of those kids that she doesn't help. Like there's kids that help. Like they sit on your hip. They kind of hold on. They kind of like squeeze in and they do part of the work. No, not Otavia. No. She just like, do all the work for me. I'm just going to be a sack of potatoes and you get to lug me around. And so it just kind of cracks me up. That's her.
So now my sister and I are practicing this, and I'm just going to pretend, and I'm just not even going to pretend like we're recording, but I just want to say this for some context that we used to talk 5 times a day, right? In the car, at the library, at the grocery store, on the way to Costco, in between meetings. And now it is scarce because you're like full-time on. Brittany drops baby off at 7, picks baby up at 4. But last week you had the week off of being a full-time grandma nanny. So we were talking all the time again. But super quick, whenever my sister and I talk, I always say, oh my gosh, we should just record this. We should just record this because I need to do a Trish Kendall Speaks episode. And this is like perfect. Could we just record it? So this is me practicing.
And then it's going to be, we're recording and we're not going to have one of those Trisha and Maria moments because you never know when they're going to happen.
Well, because that's the thing. That's hard. So we got to figure out like maybe it's like if it's happening, I don't know. It's true, but they're so perfect.
But what we could do is if we're having that moment and Otavia is asleep. Hang up and do the recording.
I know it ruins.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
It could ruin our groove, but we're just gonna go with it. And so one of the things that I'm just gonna keep going with right now, just to keep connecting the dots for this, is for those of you who follow me, you know that my sister is the one who called when I was a moment away from the end. And then she brought me in to live with her, right? This is when I was in Tacoma and we fast forwarded and she brought me to Killeen, Texas to live with her and her 2 young kids. So Brittany at the time was 4 or 5, and Jonathan was 2 or 3. So just fast forward for a second. Brittany, like the baby that my sister is taking care of right now, is Brittany's daughter. Like babies now. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is
So
crazy.
it all comes. So if I can give people a sneak peek into me and you, be so
As
amazing.
I'm walking around my house.
Do you need a
Michael's
clue?
about ready to walk in the door
Yeah.
from grocery shopping. So I know
Oh,
that's going to like ruin our groove as well.
no.
But
But
I think, if we go back to what we were talking about
yeah,
just a few minutes before, and that's because of your TEDx talk.
yes.
Because of my sister's TEDx talk, it has really opened up my husband to talking about his emotions, I think. Like his emotions, his thoughts that he's been carrying around regarding our abuse and our childhood and how it impacted him.
Right.
Right. So
Which has
we
been
think about it.
surprising. He's texted me. He's texted me some talks from the church, and
Mhm.
he's in conversation with you. And so it has been surprising how that has opened up
Yeah, he really has
his
opened up
communication.
regarding how he feels about it. And I think what he has experienced, like for him, he has stated to me just recently, nobody really understands the effects of sexual abuse unless if you've lived it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I've lived it as a husband. I've seen it and lived it as a husband.
Yeah.
So he has a unique perspective. He has a unique understanding of what it has done to his wife.
Yeah. Completely. And he even reached out to Brittany.
What?
He reached out to Brittany.
He reached out to Brittany. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna keep saying what that was about. Thanking Brittany. So again, I just got to say this for people that don't know us that are watching. So Mike, my sister's husband, my brother-in-law, whom I love so much, you are a combined family. He had 3 boys. You have Brittany and Jonathan. You combined the families together. Mike has been a dad, a second dad and everything. But so Mike recently reached out to Brittany, thanking her for the trust that she put in him for having your home be the home for baby Avi when she's at work, when her and her husband are at work.
And recognizing most
deal.
people wouldn't think about this.
Exactly.
But the abuse that occurred to us impacted also my daughter.
Yes.
And the trust that my daughter has with others.
Yeah.
So she doesn't trust anyone with Otavia except for Michael and myself.
Yeah.
And her in-laws. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
And actually, and when Mike comes in, we can say a quick goodbye. I'll say hi, love him, love you. But the other thing though in this is it is okay. And, I'm on the board of Mass Kids. Mass Kids is maniacally focused on childhood sexual prevention in schools, youth services organizations, The other thing is like the world does need to know the prevalence of this type of abuse. It's not that you and I are in this little isolated group of people. It's just that people don't talk about it because it's so shameful and it's so complex. It's so confusing. All the things. But young moms should be aware, and moms should be educated on. I'm not saying live, like you're hoarding your child so they can't interact with other human beings or men, but you should be aware of signs and situations. And, you taught Brittany and Jonathan very early on, about prevention, and being aware and all that stuff.
I think that that's probably the biggest thing is parents having an open dialogue with their children. And building that trust with your child, you can come to me. You can tell me, right? This is your body. Here are your boundaries, and helping them establish and maintain those boundaries of this is yours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have stories for us. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on with that in those boundaries. Like if you establish healthy boundaries with little ones and continue with that, you're establishing that for when you're girls or your boys.
Right.
Yes. Or even
I'm
going off
telling
to
you,
college,
I think about it with Sammy.
Yeah, this is my boundary.
Two things that I want to pick up. So like literally if we could find time together, well, we're going to do this. We're going to talk about this anyways on video or not on video, but, two things that I want to talk with you for the Trish Kendall Speaks is one is my journey right now in sharing more with Lily about our experience as the TEDx is now live. So that's a whole conversation. It's a conversation that I've been having with her. But I want to have the conversation with you. So that's like a whole conversation is the journey that I'm going through, that you went through with your kids in a different way, right? But the journey that I'm going through as it relates to sharing even more with Lily, my 13-year-old, about the abuse and about the drug addiction, because she's like my agent. She literally promotes my TEDx talk to everyone. And now it's live and now it's out there. And so what we talked about just the other night really quick, and then I'll stop with this and we'll pick it back up, is, Lily, I would feel terrible if any of your friends or a mom or a teacher or anyone, but especially your friends, found their way to this talk before you watch it. Because she and I have been talking about it. Like I wouldn't have given the live TED Talk for it, right, to go viral, to go global, all of those things, if I wasn't prepared to have the conversation with Lily and if we hadn't have worked with Lily along the way. But now it's like game on. So that's one thing of the conversation. And then I have another thing that we might just have to pick up the phone and talk about is social media. And our ongoing conversations about social media and protecting our children when it comes to social media. I have a story for you.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, you got a sneak peek into me and my sister Maria used to be 5 conversations a day, but now down to 1. So the more I can bring her to you with me, I will. Thanks for being along this journey with me. Choose and become. Now you say bye too, Maria.
Bye.